I will say that it's kind of weird to start a Twitter space with yourself in it and you're just recording your thoughts and everything. But I guess hopefully people will come in and we could all speak about wrestling and stuff. Usually I do this on my laptop and open up Audacity. That's what I use to record my podcast episodes. Um, and I guess this is just an exclusive one because I wanted people to come in here and we talk about wrestling. I don't really do Twitter spaces as much, but I would love to do Twitter spaces, especially to do them right after Tape Study Tuesday. But I am completely mindful of everyone else that does Twitter spaces in the space because I know that not everyone that I know, if they go to someone else's Twitter space, that they'll be in mine as well. Like you can't multitask and be like, I want to listen to two Twitter spaces. Like that doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. But people can multitask. That's like listening to two podcast episodes from two different podcasters. Like that doesn't make any sense at all, but I guess I'll just ramble on and see what happens. This is a recorded Twitter space, so it will only stay up here for maybe, I'll give it like today and then tomorrow, and then that's it. Recorded Twitter spaces should stay up around 2 weeks ish, I want to say. I don't remember. I don't even know if Twitter Spaces still does the live community chat spaces to just get feedback on like what to improve on Twitter Spaces. So, don't quote me on like how long a recorded space stays up, but this is a Patreon exclusive. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's another way to help um support your favorite content creator. That's basically the basics of it. It's a membership program. We're all used to membership programs, whether that's like a Patreon, a Substack. Um, YouTube has one because they have the membership thing once you get to be partner. Even on like Twitter, not Twitter. Twitter has freaking Twitter Blue. Like, man. Um, but like Twitch has Twitch affiliate where you can become a sub for however long. So we all know about membership programs, and any type of help that you guys do for your favorite content creator means the absolute world to them. Especially those that are very humble about it and those that are very appreciative of it because, everyone is different. Let me not shoot myself in the foot by saying something wrong. Just based on truth and observations. But yeah, so Patreon is a membership site, however you want to say it. So I decided to start a Patreon because that'll give me a lot more flexibility in the type of content that I create, which is video, audio, and also written. But Patreon now has this thing of uploading videos. Like you have 500 hours they give you if you're eligible, and then if you use up all the 500 hours, they give you 50 extra hours free at no cost to you because you do know that Patreon takes a percentage. So I find that, very cool that I can gather a community of wrestlers and wrestling fans and friends in general to be part of my Patreon, and together we can watch videos where I break down professional wrestling and really tell you the story, really tell you why certain wrestlers do certain moves, and what's the story inside the match, not only outside the match. And so yeah, so that's what I plan on doing with the Patreon. Next month is March. Not only is that my birthday month, but it is also Women's History Month. So, because it is Women's History Month, I want to do a special Patreon exclusive where I look at old school women's professional wrestling, where it is the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. And so I would watch it, break it down, talk about it, and just try to help improve the business. And doing that kind of thing takes a lot of time and effort on my part because I have to sit, watch, react, edit, make the thumbnails, do all of that, and to put it behind a paywall. I know people get really touchy about paywall and payments. However, this is my philosophy. If you guys ever wanted to know but never really asked me, I believe that any type of news in the wrestling community, I was going to say in the wrestling business, any type of news should not be behind a paywall. Any type of clickbait should not be behind a paywall because those clickbait things are probably not confirmed. However, when you do original content creation, when you do original interviews, and you're not just like popping them out one right after the other because then it just loses that high quality that you should be aiming for. But regardless of that, interviews, original content, original topic discussions, original skits, original conversations like ones here on Twitter Spaces, which is very freaking exclusive. That I believe should be behind a paywall because you do have to plan those out. You do have to talk to people. You do have to make sure that if you're going to get a guest on, they are going to be on. They're not going to ditch you. They're not going to like no show. They're not going to, back out. And even if they do back out, if they give an apology, that's cool. And if you reschedule, that's cool. But if they just like up and leave you, then there's something wrong there, right? So those type of stuff really needs to be, to me, would be beneficial to put behind a paywall because the person is going through and really doing the work, doing the research, and doing their due diligence to make sure that you as the viewer, you as the consumer can definitely like learn from it, enjoy it, share it, like it, comment on it, really have fun, like have an actual freaking party and such. So, that's why I say original content, putting in the work, that stuff is behind a paywall. If you break news, if you drop names, if you clickbait, if you try to start drama, that shit should not be behind a paywall. That should just be free. News should be free because the moment you put it behind a paywall, the moment that misinformation becomes rampant and you can't lasso all the misinformation, right? Like you can't grab it all. You can't tell somebody on Twitter to be like, hey, you can't speak about that because this is the corrected thing versus like, if you go on Reddit, it's already like a wildfire. So that's why it's bad to have wrestling news behind a paywall. And if people listen to this after I press end and you have a problem with it, well, then that's your problem. But if you do have a problem with it, then that means that I speak the truth on like wrestling news and news in general should just not be behind a paywall. Um, because it creates a lot of misinformation and wildfires, and that's the last thing that you want in this business. That's the last thing you want in the world. Or that's the last thing that you want to be said about you in a way. Like if you think about it, how people can just say whatever, we call it like slander. Oh, we don't call it like slander, it is slander. But, you don't want anything bad to get out there, right? So don't put it behind a paywall. Put all your original content behind a paywall because at least, you do the work. But yeah, that's always been like my philosophy behind what should get paid, what shouldn't get paid. And then sometimes I feel guilty to be like, hey, I would like you to support me, and this is how much I'm pricing everything, just because of like the time and effort that I'm calculating into the price. It's not just like a random price that I'm like, oh, you got to pay it. I'm calculating my time, your time, the worth, the value, and the research behind it. Because, if I'm going to go back into the 70s and 80s, I'm not really going to know too much about the women's wrestling of that era because we necessarily don't really talk about it as much as the men era of the 70s and the 80s. We might have some like inclusion of like women discussions of those times, but it's not very in depth, you know, it's not very like extra information and stuff, or stuff that we don't know. We don't usually talk about like new things. I usually find out about like new things when it comes to like certain men that don't get talked about from the 70s or 80s, the ones that are not like as big as your, you know, Hogan's and Macho Man's and um Ultimate Warriors and stuff. So like, yeah. Um so that's why like I tend to have a hard time pricing my stuff. Because at the same time that I want people to support me on a reoccurring basis, it's a lot easier to choose somebody who will put their worth at $5, $3 a month, rather than like, you know, a higher tier because they know that they could catch people with a lower tier, which I can't really get mad at that because people can spend their money however they want to spend their money. But that's again something else that's not really talked about or even just shared amongst peers. You know, most of the time people think that you're going after their spot in the content creation world, and it's like, no, because my audience may like what I do, and that's why they stick with me. However, somebody in my audience may one day be like, hey, your content is no longer for me, and I'm going to be like, that's cool. And if they go to somebody else that they feel that their content is more suited for them, all right, cool. You gain another follower, that's awesome. You know, we're eventually going to gain followers anyway, but like we shouldn't necessarily be in competition with each other because then that creates more of a divide rather than like a unity to bring everybody up, because everyone brings something to the table, everyone is valuable in the content creation space. There might be like a few exceptions, but for the most part everyone can contribute to something because somebody might think outside the box. And if you've been having like a problem that needs a solution and you haven't found a solution, maybe somebody else at the podcasting table or the wrestling table can like, you know, say something that you heard a million times, but because that one person tweaks the rhetoric, that might open up your mind and be like, oh, okay, so we found a solution thanks to the other person at the table because the other person put it in a different way for you to experience it, understand it, and then you're gonna go and execute it, and you're gonna be like, that your problem has been solved. Case in point, why I made my wrestling planner. You guys know I have to like plug in my wrestling planner at least once. By the way, I feel like I'm talking to my Twitch chat, and if people either don't pass by or they listen to the recording after this, they're gonna think I'm so sad that I'm talking to myself. But this is exactly what I do on Twitch. Exactly what I do on Twitch, man. So I'm just used to it, and I feel like I'm just rambling, and that's what I'm good at. Hopefully, you find some like little golden nuggets um, from me just talking out of experience. Anyway, back to me plugging in my wrestling planner because I know you guys love that. So my wrestling planner is for the 2023 year. I made it because everybody on Twitter kept, you know, either fighting about it or just really talking and just saying that like, how do you log all the matches that you watch throughout the year? Do you use like Excel? Do you do this? Do you do that? How do you remember this? How do you remember that? And then when it comes time for the year end awards, people are like, I don't remember that match. Like that match happened, so I created a book for fans, friends, and wrestlers. I can tell you it was a hit at last night's event at Goddesses of War. It was a hit, you know, meaning that people really liked it and really enjoyed it when I gave them the book for them to feel in their hand, which, by the way, that is a business strategy to get someone to buy something. If you want somebody to buy something, 8 out of 10 people will definitely buy it if you give them a physical copy of whatever it is. If you give them something physical for them to hold in their hand, they are most likely to buy it off of you. Please do not be forceful if you decide to take that tactic and sell your goods or anything like that at your next show. So at the merch table, please do not force yourself to anybody to hold your merch. But just so you know, as a little freebie, 8 out of 10 people will probably buy your stuff if you know, talk about it, you're knowledgeable about it, you're passionate about it, and you give them the product for them to hold. Because we are creatures of like a bunch of senses, even though it's six senses. Yeah, six senses. Listen, I haven't had a talk about senses since I was maybe like a little kid. So we all are made up of senses and like touch and feeling. So when you are able to touch something, your brain kind of reacts like, "Ooh, I like this," and then you know eventually your brain is gonna be like, "Oh, let's buy it," and then you go and buy it. So that's what it does. It tricks your brain. But like I said, please, if you're gonna take that tip, do not be forceful to people. Don't be stupid. Just take it, learn, and see what happens. So unfortunately, I did not have my own stack of books. Like if I had the extra funds, I would have definitely gotten some author copies and like had a table because Goddesses of War moving forward. Their next event is March 25th, which again, March is my birthday month and it's also Women's History Month. So March 25th is the next Goddesses of War um, event, and they're gonna continue to try and do fan fests every single month from 3 to 5, depending on like the location that they're at. I don't know where they're at on March 25th, but they're gonna do that, and I would love to bring some copies of my wrestling planner and have fans buy it, have wrestlers buy it, and you know have that because I could have had a table yesterday, but me being the official podcaster, I went around talking to people, letting the lovely broadcast ladies that were there put themselves over, which I'm gonna like put the whole video together. You guys are gonna see it. So talking to people, taking pictures with people, um, taking pictures with people with the trading cards because Goddesses of War Wrestling created trading cards. I'm on a trading card, guys. Like I am on a trading card. So all the staff and broadcasters and talent, I guess I'm talent because they kept calling me talent yesterday and my brain was like, what the fuck? Yeah, my brain couldn't comprehend that. Like, I was talent. So uh we have trading cards. I have my own trading card, even though I'm on the one trading card with everyone on there, which is cool. Maybe later on I'll get my own trading card. Which by the way, that got spoiled for me yesterday. Um, one of the helpers spoiled that. He made the design, and you guys just see the whole entire like sit down interview that I do with him on the vlog. But yeah, he spoiled that for me, and I was like, wait a minute, am I supposed to know that I have a trading card? Like, why are you telling me this, right? So yeah, I have a trading card. But yeah, so I wish that I could have had a box of um what do you call it? Planners. So that way I can like sell at the events and stuff. Because the wrestlers really enjoyed it. You know, other people enjoyed it when I gave it to them and had them look at it. So I made it for you guys where it has a 12-month calendar spread. You guys could write whatever you want inside the calendars. And then it has a two different note sections. One note section that is just a bunch of lines, and then another note section where it's lines and a box because you guys can either like do like a bullet journal or like draw in the box or whatever you want to do in the box, like it's there. And then you have your 7-star matches, which I always say that if you are very unhappy with Uncle Dave's star ratings, by all means you can definitely use the one in the planner. Write down your favorite matches and like color in the stars. And then the last part is the year-end awards, where you have a couple pages that are pre-filled, and then you have some blank pages to let your creativity run wild. You know, so there goes my plug for my wrestling planner in a very, very long, winded explanation. So I guess I'll jump right into Goddesses of War Wrestling. Um, this is probably the one time that I don't feel bad talking to myself. I really don't. There's something therapeutic about this that I'm just speaking into the spaces, and you guys will listen at the end. Or yeah, because there's no way to tell if anyone's lurking. This isn't Twitch. Um, so Goddesses of War Wrestling is an all women's promotion. It is the sister promotion to Titan Championship Wrestling. And whenever I talk about Titan Championship Wrestling, I always put them over. Like, I really enjoy their product. From the first time that I was able to um, report on Titan Championship Wrestling and create a podcast for them and like all that kind of stuff. Like, I want to say back in the day because it feels so long. I always put them over, and it's not because of like I'm getting paid by them or they tell me to do it. I put them over because I genuinely like enjoy the product. I generally enjoy the vibe. I generally enjoy who comes to the shows, especially for Titan. Like most of those wrestlers that go, I'm friends with them. So like it's a very good time to hang out with friends, cheer them on, record their matches, and let them be them. And then if I ever record their matches, they know I do. They don't even ask me. I'm like, I got you. I'll record your match. Um, I'll do that for like anyone else too if they ever like ask me. But for the most part, if like you're my buddy and we've been like hanging out and mutually like have a friendship, I'll just do it anyway. But yeah, Titan Championship Wrestling is always, always good to go. Like if you're in the New Jersey area, make sure you go to a Titan Championship Wrestling show and or Goddesses of War. So Titan was starting to do a women's division slowly until they realized that it was better if they broke away. So they sort of like broke away, created a second one, and that's how we got like the sister promotion. And Goddesses of War has definitely been on a really good um, trajectory. Is that even the word I want to use? It's been really good. Yesterday was basically the start over of Goddesses of War Wrestling, where they crowned their first ever Goddesses of War champion. And if you guys see the picture that I posted of the Goddesses roster, like everyone that worked yesterday's event, you could see the title belt that is being held. That belt was awarded to Marie Valdomina. I almost fucked up her name, even though she's a very awesome girl. Like we had a moment yesterday, and it was fantastic. And when I say a moment, hearing her out, talking to her, getting to know her as a wrestler and as an awesome person. Don't think anything else. Get your mind out of the gutter. So, she is the new Goddesses of War Women's Champion. And she also almost spoiled that for me too, in a way. Almost spoiled that. In the sense of she told me she had 2 matches, and I was like, "What? You have 2 matches back to back?" And she's like, "Oh, should I have not told you that?" And I was like, "I mean, you can, because I'm the podcaster here, but like, really?" But it was fun. It was nice. Goddesses of War did their tournament style in order to crown the champion. They did it in one night, so it was basically I gotta look at my wrestling planner. See, this is why you guys need to get a wrestling planner, because you can refer to it. That's exactly what content creators like do, right? Like refer to it and stuff, and making sure that they have the right notes and everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they have 4 matches that were fatal 4 ways And then the winner of that Fatal 4-Way went on to the finals. So all winners of the previous match went on to the fifth match. And that one was a single elimination style match. So what that means is that when somebody gets eliminated, they are out of the match, and the last person standing is the winner. So for match number 5, we had Marie Valdomina versus JC Storm versus Shelby Waters and versus Christina Marie. I just want to say that I'm gonna put over JC Storm. JC Storm is so good, man. Like if you guys ever get the chance to watch her, especially watch her live too, it's really, really, really good. She does remind you of Selena Vega only in the fact of like looks and like what she wears, but in the ring, man, she's a force to be reckoned with. I was gonna combine the words and letters, but she is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And the last time that I saw JC Storm was before. Can I say before the pandemic? I think it was before the pandemic. Yeah, I think it was. Because again, I was telling people about social media and why they should use Twitter Spaces to get themselves out there. But yeah, it was before the pandemic and all that. And JC Storm came out as a bubbly babyface in like a baby blue outfit and stuff because she goes by she's known as the Elementalist. Basically, she deals with elements. In the world of wrestling, in the world of kayfabe, she deals with elements. And it was just like a nice baby blue, clear sky type of thing. So that's how you can imagine it. And she was good then. And then yesterday, I don't know what took her. I don't know what demon possessed her, but it was fucking fun. I was just like, man, this girl evolves every time I see her, which is a good thing. You guys should be evolving your characters. Please do not stay stagnant. The moment you stay stagnant, the moment that your fans are going to leave and go to somebody else. First, it'll be the casual fans, and then eventually your loyal hardcore fans. But please do not stay stagnant. So, JC Storm is amazing, and she should have more eyes on her. She really should. I got introduced to Shelby Waters for the first time at Goddesses of War. She's cool as well. I actually got to see Christina Marie in action, and she's awesome as well. I do want to mention that the fourth match, which was a Fatal 4-Way, all these are Fatal 4-Ways until one champion is crowned. Christina Marie versus Gabby Gilbert versus Missa Kate versus Jenny Rose. I really enjoyed that match because all the women were doing submissions. I don't see women doing submissions a lot. And I think that will separate basically like how can I say this? It'll make you stand out. If you are a woman wrestler and you are having trouble trying to stand out from the crowd and everyone else, just do submissions, because I really enjoyed that because everybody did a freaking submission and somebody was trying to make somebody tap. And you would think that might be like oversaturating stuff, but it really isn't. It really wasn't. To me, it was refreshing because I don't get to see women wrestlers do a lot of submissions, and I really want to see women do submissions. We've seen everything that women do, and I will say this here, that even though you're in the wrestling business, you don't have to follow the men. You don't have to copy the men. The men are the men. That's a whole nother topic that I could talk about like in another one. But like for now, for this discussion, the men are the men. They've already, broken the code and they're still going. I don't know where I'm going with that, but they are the men are the men. You create your own unique space. You create your own unique offense, defense, story inside and outside the ring, and keep it kayfabe because I like stuff in kayfabe because it's my time to get away from reality for a little bit. I'm just saying, but if the guys are doing power bombs and flips, um, you as a woman can be doing um like submissions and working on a body part and really trying to get your other opponent to tap because that's going to be something different. Sometimes, maybe in a match your opponent is thinking that it's going to be hard hitting, you might have some power bombs in there, but if you can't do a power bomb, like just do a submission. It'll be different, it'll be unique. Little details count. And by the way, before anyone gets on me, I am the type of fan that I like to be analytical when it comes to wrestling. I don't really talk much about like feeling unless we're talking about a specific story in professional wrestling that deals with, kayfabe storyline, all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, if you really want to stand out from the crowd, you got to do something that's different from your male counterparts and even like your woman counterparts. I think I should just say colleagues. That's different from your male colleagues and your woman colleagues, okay? Like, and I know that's kind of hard to figure out. And sometimes we talk about this in Gabe's space, which most likely will be on Wednesday. But the difference is whatever you're comfortable with, right? Because if you're comfortable doing a certain set of moves, give or take, that's a good thing. Because you feel comfortable, you're not gonna hurt yourself and hurt the other person, even though accidents can happen, mistakes can happen. Like, this is a contact sport, whether you want to admit it or not. But to be different is to fully embrace that you're not gonna be as tall as a 7 foot guy, So if you're not gonna be as tall as the 7 foot male colleague in the wrestling business, then stick to ground, stick to speed. If you're not going to be like a huge bodybuilder like your female counterpart, female colleague. It just sounds better saying female colleague. um if you're not going to be a bodybuilder like them, then stay lean, have some muscle so that you can pick up people, but like work on your speed, work on your dodging, work on your footwork. I would think in the world of kayfabe and in the world of wrestling that if you are like a bodybuilder, you have a lot more muscle to deal with. You have a lot more weight to deal with. So you're not necessarily going to be as fast. You can be fast, but in the world of kayfabe, you're not going to be as fast as you think so because now you have to like your weight and stuff like that. So for people who are smaller, like they could take advantage. All I'm saying is that be entwined with your body, with your mind as a wrestler, and you'll find your footing, you'll find your spot, and you'll be different from everyone else. Also, gear, but talking about like gear and like what to make, that's a whole nother discussion because sometimes people make gear but it doesn't go with what they want to do. But then again, in the modern age, if you just go with your name of like John Smith, like that doesn't really, well, to me, that doesn't do anything for me sometimes. I say that if you're just gonna use your name, you gotta lean into the kayfabe a little bit. It can't just be you, because you still have to play a character. And I know certain like wrestlers don't want to hear that, or even certain fans don't want to hear that. But you gotta play a character. That's the only way that you can survive in the world of wrestling. There's been way too many one-hit wonders, maybe even like 6-month one-hit wonders, and even maybe like a year one hit wonders, but like the ones that have longevity are the ones that have a character. Even if your name is John Smith, the most basic of names, you need to have a tiny bit of a character, something that I can either, I don't want to say attach myself to, but something that I could be like, all right, I could get behind this person because there's something about the character that he or she is portraying that I can definitely, go along with and cheer. So again, if I'm talking like so long-winded, it's because I really enjoy the analytical side of professional wrestling. I'm not here to just be like, this sucked, that sucked. Oh, how dare they? How could they? No, I'm here to help improve the wrestling business as much as I can, help improve wrestlers as much as I can, because I care about each and every one that comes up into the business and want to do something with their lives, just because that's a way for me to give back. Um, as you know, I used to work for WWE back in 2018, and that was like super fun, and I have no regrets. But then after, they let me go, I decided to just help out behind the scenes because I am a lot more versatile that way. Like I always want to put people over. Even if even if people still have me muted and I have them muted or blocked or whatever, like I made my wrestling planner for you guys too, if you guys ever listen to this shit. But yeah, like getting a character is very, very important. And I say that because I'm gonna circle back around to Goddesses of War Wrestling. There is this wrestler that I met called Mother Endless. And I was so excited to see her. I never saw Mother Endless before, but she is something else. And she has a beautiful character. And it's a character of like, think of like if you went to hell, like she will greet you at hell. And I think that she'll take that as a compliment. But I fell in love with her character and everything and her gear and everything that she did and her unique wrestling ability. And I was like, oh my God, I really enjoyed what she did. Unfortunately, right, this is the part where I have to say that the referee during that match had to be paid off. Because man, like I really don't like it when, people lose on a roll up, which by the way, guys, please like relax on roll ups, especially during women's matches. Please relax on roll ups. Like we don't really need roll ups to win every single match. Please don't do that. So anyway, Mother Endless basically picked up one girl and body slammed her on the other girl and put her foot on top of them, and the referee was counting. However, the crafty, I gotta see my notes. Give me a second. The crafty Shelby Waters comes in and does a roll up on Mother Endless. However, her hand touched the rope and she was underneath the rope. So yeah, that referee was paid off. Like, did you like the rules are clearly, if someone's hand is under the rope or touches the rope, like that shouldn't count. Mother Endless deserved to like win that match. I'm just saying. But other than that, like I had a very, very fun time watching that one. That match was a pretty cool one. Again, all these matches were fatal four ways until we got to the main event. Which I'll talk about the main event now, which was Nyla Rose versus the Notorious Mimi. Now, I just would like to say that when I introduced myself to Nyla does have a very pretty smile. Nyla has very pretty eyes that, like, when she gets excited and she gets happy, like, it's really cool. It was cool to be around her, and then, her joking around with people. It was really cool and nice. So I go and introduce myself to her, and it was just super cool. Really was. I went to introduce myself to Notorious Mimi. Told her that I watched her whole I guess her whole career. I mean, I probably did. And I was live for like 2 of her matches on the Indies before she got signed to WWE and whatnot. So the main event, like I said, was Nyla Rose versus Notorious Mimi. And man, this is where like I have this love-hate relationship with AEW. I don't want to see Nyla on Dark anymore. I honestly still think that, you know, she could have like just stayed on Dynamite and like run the women's division, because what I saw yesterday was fantastic. Mimi does a wonderful job because Mimi is really good at what she does, and Nyla is really good at what she does. And I'm like, Nyla pulled out some like aggressiveness that I was like, yo, we need that. We need that on AEW Dynamite, but like not the aggressiveness that we keep seeing day in and day out when it comes to Dynamite and Rampage, just to be on that edgy side. Like Nyla has that aggressiveness where it's just right for TV. It's just right for her opponent. It's nothing edgy. It's nothing to be like, oh my god, I want to be viral, so I need to have 2 million views to be viral. So let me be edgy for the sake of being edgy when it comes to being aggressive. That's what I get like out of AEW and stuff. When it comes to that like sort of thing. But like watching Nyla be a wrestler was really fucking cool. And I'm like, yo, why can't she be on fucking Dynamite like this whole entire time, man? Like, I honestly, you know, I'm gonna say it here. I know this is a recording, but like the reason why I don't watch Dark and Dark Evolution anymore is because one, I need some story. I need something to keep me there, because if I'm just gonna sit there and watch a bunch of matches, and this is on YouTube, YouTube has a sidebar that says recommended videos. And you know what I'm going to do when I get bored? I'm going to go watch another video. And that is very bad, because then that does a disservice to the wrestlers, to the matches, to the promotion. And it's like, how can you like do that to your wrestlers? You know, and obviously we could always talk about like views being bought and people like rewatching the same thing. That's why they get like 200K views, but that's not the point. The point is that YouTube is very dangerous to use most of the time, because people click off of a video and you don't want them to click off of a video. That's why I say that sometimes AEW fans are not used to the way that indies are run, because they may or may not go to indie shows like how I go to indie shows. And when you go to an indie show, you can't really click off of an indie show. You know, you don't have a sidebar where you could be like, oh, I want to watch the next video. You can't do that. When you're at an indie show, you're either having fun with the crowd, you're having fun with the wrestlers, or maybe you're on your phone, which you shouldn't be. But if you are on your phone recording, that's awesome. But if you're on your phone goofing off, no, like don't do that shit. Do you understand like what I'm trying to get at with the differences of like why certain wrestlers need to be on like main TV, even though people can still click off on cable? However, you're the chances of you flipping the channel is less than you being on YouTube and clicking off to the side. But other than that, Nyla was a sweetheart. I got to talk to Vicious Vicky finally, and Vicious Vicky is eventually going to come onto my podcast so we could talk. Man, I gather up so much courage to go talk to her, because I just love that girl. Like, she's really great at wrestling. She's great so much, so much, so much. Like, I could put her over, and that's what I was doing at the event. I put her over so much. I talked with the other Marie. I was in the presence of two ECW legends, which I didn't realize, and I feel so bad. People are gonna come after me and be like, "You're supposed to like love wrestling." And I'm gonna be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was in the presence of two ECW legends, Angel Orsini, I think I mispronounced her name, and like the bride. I don't remember her name. And I was just like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know who they were. And that's kind of bad for me to say. And I should never fucking said that. This is recorded. But I had the most fun, the most time. So again, Goddesses of War Wrestling returns to somewhere in New Jersey on March 25th. I'll most likely be there because I'm their official podcaster. But yeah, all videos of what I took yesterday put them together soon, and you guys will be able to view them or whatever. Just stay tuned to like my socials. And that's gonna be all from me for talking because I see P1 Designs. I know he's been listening. I'm gonna send you an invite to speak because man, I've been talking forever. So if you wanna if you want to catch me up to date with all of your awesomeness that you've been doing behind the scenes, by all means, go ahead.
Marie, hello?
Yeah, man, I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay. I want to cut my headphones and everything always act crazy. uh, I was listening to you and everything of the shows you was at, and and I know you were talking about the elevation and the dark and everything of like certain talents deserve to be on like you know the big shows and everything and stuff, and it's just I hardly watch Dark and Elevation myself and everything. It's just like you said and everything. It's not really enough storylines on there. It's just like a lot of matches. It's like just thrown together on a card and everything and stuff. And which is it ain't bad, but I like storytelling. No matter what show it is, it got to be some type of like you know something going on, as like, grab your attention and everything. It just can't be matches like thrown together, be like, this person against this person against this person. And it's like, you really don't have like no storytelling to like, draw more viewers in to where they don't um wanna like you say, change the channel or click off to the side and everything of like, watching something else and everything. It's just, you know, it's losing viewers and everything, and that's never a good thing in wrestling. And
Yes, definitely.
mhm.
I totally understand where you're coming from, dude. Totally understand
And
that.
you were talking about the what is it G O wrestling?
W. So basically, it is so Goddesses of
Mm-hmm.
War is an all women's promotion,
Oh.
and it is the sister promotion to Titan Championship Wrestling. So
Oh.
like these two companies, like I really do adore them. And again, I said it earlier that like they don't pay me to say this, but the first time I ever went to a Titan Championship Wrestling
Mm-hmm.
event, it was fucking fun. So I just love the atmosphere. I love the people that I like get to chat with, work
Mm-hmm.
with. Like it's really cool. So Goddesses of War is basically just an all women's promotion, and that's what I was doing yesterday at Brick, New Jersey.
Mm. I have never heard of it, and I come across so many, independent wrestling companies and everything and stuff, and I'm like, like you said, title match, but I ain't never heard of this one. Was this one just was they just building this company or something?
Yeah, I was also explaining too that like when Titan, well, Titan is still
Mm-hmm.
around. Titan was slowly building up their women's
Mm-hmm.
division. And they really got like the top of the top, really good indie women wrestlers around. And then eventually they were like, yeah, we should like do our own thing, and that's what they did. So like, at certain times during like Titan, they'll have the women come out first, and the women will be represented under the Goddesses of War banner.
Ooh.
And then after like, they were done, now the main show, Titan Championship Wrestling, will begin. However, yesterday was the start of like the whole rebranding. So now they are their own brand, and they go on the road and stuff like that. So
Oh man.
that's what yeah, so that's why if you haven't heard of them, it's because of like their like yesterday was like the re-grand opening of Goddesses of War.
Oh man. If you can you send me their Twitter handle or something? I want to follow them because I'm like a huge in.
Oh, I got yo. You know what? I'll do one better. I'll slide into your DMs and I'll give you some info.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
I'll give you
Appreciate
some.
that.
I'll do that. I'll do that for you. That's what I was doing like all yesterday was putting people over. I put over the broadcasting ladies that were with me. I networked with somebody else that like I was like blown away just by we had like a very good vibe and
Mm-hmm.
shit. So yeah, man. It's all about like putting people over and making sure that like we're all in this like together at
Mm-hmm.
least. You
Oh
know. So
man,
yeah.
I am trying. I am like, it's almost like, when you grow up and be watching wrestling so much, it's almost like, you was like, you one day be like, man, I want to be a part of that, or work somewhere, in the scenes of like, of wrestling and everything, like, because it's so fascinating of how the production and the media and how the matches, just all the good things
Yeah.
and stuff and everything,
Yeah, dude.
and like,
If I yeah,
man,
go ahead.
it's like, I grew up watching like, WCW and everything, and
Yeah.
like, I like the TNA and everything, and of course WWE and everything, which you worked at and everything, and man, I know that had to be like you know a life changing experience for you and everything.
I mean, I just want to mention very quickly, Mikey, I sent you a thing to speak if you want to speak. It's up to you. But if I would have told my younger self that, one day you'll get to
Mhm.
WWE, then you'll do like all this stuff behind the scenes. Like even when I was younger, I was still ambitious. I was like, I'm still gonna go. Like I screamed it at the top of my lungs to anybody that would hear me that I would go to WWE. And like most of my friends just like scoffed it off as like, yeah, sure, but guess the fuck what? I went there for a short time, but like it was the best shit ever, even though it wasn't what I wanted to
Mhm.
do, but I got my foot in the door. But yeah, if I had to tell myself, I don't know, maybe things would be a little bit different because what I know
Mhm.
now, I don't know then.
Mhm.
Um it's the best thing in the world just to help out behind the scenes, even though like I don't fucking get paid for it, and I'm like, when do I ask for that? But I just do it because it's fun, but eventually I want to get paid for it.
Yeah, I understand you. It's like, it's so much like, and like I've been seeing like your content and everything of New Japan and everything, and I'm huge on New Japan. I just haven't been.
Oh,
I
cool.
just haven't been. Oh man, I haven't watched New Japan since Wrestle Kingdom 13. And
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
I've been. I've been out of it.
We just passed like what, 17,
Yeah.
sir?
I've missed so much because like the last one I seen. Oh, if I can remember. It was like, because I know Kenny Omega and Okada was having their feud thing, and
Yeah.
God, I seen Switchblade one time. He was wrestling uh Kobayashi or something. I forgot.
Kobayashi.
Ko, ko, ko-
Did Tanahashi?
is it Tanahashi? The one Kenny was with best friends with the King. Uh,
Oh, you mean Kota
yeah,
Ibushi?
Kobe Bucci. I can't even say
Okay.
it.
Oh yeah, that one. That was in 2019 because they did the double main
Hmm.
event where Kota Ibushi fought Naito. Naito didn't win. Kota Ibushi then fought Jay White the second night. And yeah, freaking Jay White didn't win, and then he blamed it on freaking Ishii because Ishii was out of the freaking puzzle that he had in his mind. And I'm like, how the fuck do you come up with this? Like it. Come on.
I seen. I don't know how to describe this. It's almost like. Uh, I know you been in the wrestling. You know, scenes and everything, of like the company and everything and stuff and everything, and I want to ask, like, I
Go ahead, dude. Just tell me.
I,
Go ahead. We're having a conversation. However, I will say that because it is
I
recorded, don't say anything like personal or whatever. But like, if you have a question, go ahead, dude. I'll try my best to
okay.
answer it.
Um, like when you make it in the company and everything, like what do
Yeah.
you like? How do you? Because I know a whole lot of stuff is gonna come at you at like a warp speed and everything. Like how do you keep yourself like uh so much as focus, but not so much as like, you know, run around with a chicken with his head cut off. Of like trying to like, get this done or trying to get this done and everything. Like how do you maintain your, your focus and your you know, yourself and everything without, driving yourself crazy and everything. It's like, if you don't get this done,
Yeah.
stuff like that and everything.
Well, what I would say is that when I was at WWE, there was no such thing as being laid back. There was no such thing as being laid back. I'll tell you that right now. Especially when I was working on the WWE Network, like you really like had to sit there and like watch the wrestling, and like in this like spreadsheet you had to put in correct SEO terms. You could eventually like take like maybe a 15-minute break to like re-energize, stretch, and then you have like your lunch break and stuff. But like you had a list of shows to watch, shows to really like get all that SEO in there, and you had to do it like from the time that you got there, which was 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way to 5.
Wow.
Was it 8 or 9? Like yeah, but like it was a basic like 9 to 5 job. That like you had to sit there and like make sure you watch all the shows that like you were given that day. And I guess the interesting thing was that they would ask you like, what do you want to watch from like the different eras, right? So like if you wanted to do like WCW, they'll give you WCW. If you wanted to do like WWE SmackDown from like 2000s or like in the 90s, they'll give that to you. If you wanted to do the reality shows, which I told them no, do not give me total divas, don't give me that shit. Give me wrestling. That was me. So like they gave me all the wrestling stuff, and then like they give other people whatever they wanted, and then you had to really like you had to go through it. What happened with me was that like I was just freaking opinionated, and they don't like that. It might be different now, but like they didn't like that then. But I never really felt burnt out. I love what I was doing. I went there, day in and day out, and I definitely knew more than everybody else. I will say that, except for like two other people were on my same level of like knowledge, and I was like, I like you guys. But everyone else, they felt like that they were taken off the street. I mean, I said this before in my podcast, so like if I get in trouble, I don't really think I am. But I just didn't really get burnt out. I was just there, happy, did what I had to do. I just think that because you're passionate about something, you're not really, you can get burned out, but like at the same time, it's like this is what you live for. This is like your dream, that dream, that drive, that ambition should always drive you. And yeah, I get it. We get burnt out like all the time sometimes, but it's that thing that you keep coming back to because you're like, I can't afford to lose this. I can't afford to let this go because then like, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
You're here for a purpose. You're here to be entertaining for others because this is a platform to be entertaining, especially like in the wrestling business, and you're here to give back. It's a bunch of all that. It's a bunch of all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, the craziest thing is like, I can't never, I don't never get burnt down. It's almost like, how you say, that passion, that ambition, that drive and everything. It's almost like, it's almost like you can keep going and going and going. And it's almost like, it's almost like the Energizer Bunny and everything. It's almost like, you can't stop and everything. It's almost like it's no off switch and everything. But, like I said, it's going, at some point in time, it sneaks up on you and everything.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to burn yourself out to like exhaustion and everything stuff. That's what I kind of had to learn and everything and stuff, but it's almost like it's hard to do and everything because it's almost like, just like you, if you come up with like, if you like decide to like, okay, today is it's Sunday, Saturday. I'm gonna take the day off and everything. I'm a risk. I've been, you've been going all week, writing content, creating stuff
Yeah.
like that and everything. But the moment you say that, then here comes something, that comes into your vision and everything. It's like, damn, okay, now I gotta write this. I gotta do this and everything. So it's like you say one thing, but when something comes to you and everything, you can't help but to, you know, put it together and everything. And so you just can't slide it to the, the side and everything and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I get that. That's why I was laughing and chuckling with
Mm-hmm.
you because I was like, man, I've been there because I always have ideas just running around in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have either a notebook with a pen next to me or like if I have my phone, I'll quickly jot down some ideas and then like if I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
work, I'll feel fucking guilty about it and I'm like, brain, I need to relax, right? I will say this though, that ever since like I created my wrestling planner,
Mm-hmm.
things like actually changed a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because now I'm focusing on like marketing it and trying to get it into the hands of people that like I made it for.
Mm-hmm.
So my main focus right now is that, and then I feel like my other stuff has been like really falling behind, and I for some reason, like at the beginning of January, I was like, yes, I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and
Mm-hmm.
this, and I had that passion and energy, and I did it. And then some shit happened where like I lost it all,
Oh.
and like I haven't been able to do another like podcast
Uh-huh.
episode because like once I got back on TikTok and I do like a little video, I feel like I did
Mm-hmm.
something. So my brain is like, oh, you did something. You're okay. You don't have to do anything. But like I haven't put out like another podcast ever since I talked about Mercedes Monet at Wrestle Kingdom, and I'm like, this is not me. This is not like what I like do and stuff. So sometimes my brain right now is just
Mm-hmm.
reworking like what should I focus on? What should I do next? What's this? What's that? I'm still always gonna do the podcast, but like I was getting my grind back and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like it happens to like all creators. But yeah, because I made the planner, it sort of like shifted my work ethic. So what I'm gonna plan on doing is that since now I have a Patreon, and March is Women's History Month, what I'm gonna do for the wrestling
Mm-hmm.
community is look at women's wrestling from the 70s, 80s, and
Mm-hmm.
90s, but do it in the style of how I do my tape study Tuesdays, where I watch it, I talk about it, I break it down, I talk about like the moves, the stories and stuff like that, like to do it that way, but it'll be on Patreon as like an exclusive thing, just so that way like that support can help me do more with the brand, give back more and shit like that. So that I need to focus on like things like that, do something different
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to be like everyone else that like you listen to like a million podcasts, but there's nothing really
Yeah.
that stands out from one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my brain is like, all right, you did wonderful last year with all the numbers that I created. My podcast being in the top 10% listen all over the world to like 3%, top 3% on Twitch, in the category of like talks and podcasts. Like I fucking love those accomplishments and achievements, but this year's a little bit different and focused a little bit different on creating more stuff because I had mentioned to my buddy that like the first phase was working for WWE, being in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The second phase is to publish more books because I have a background in creative writing and I have a publishing certificate. So like that's the second dream. That's like phase two.
Whew. Man, I can't wait to get to that type of level that you at and everything. It's like, the big the big success and everything. I know it's baby steps, to get there, for, other that's, trying to come up and everything and stuff. And it's almost like I'm trying to follow, I can relate to everything that you just said and that you have experienced and everything and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And like, I can like, it's almost like I'm following the same path and everything and stuff and everything. Because like, I told myself, last year and everything and stuff and everything as like, you know, you did it's almost like it was like a when you trying to learn something and everything. It's almost like you have to take like, it takes long to like learn something and everything. So you just ain't gonna, you know, get it like 100,
Hmm.
So it's almost like, take that first year to try to learn and everything and stuff and everything, try to grow and everything and stuff and everything, with, you know, building and everything and stuff. And then, over time and everything, it'll start to grow even more and everything. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get into that. I'm trying to get into the independent. 'Cause every time I join gay space,
Yeah.
it's almost like, I'm in the room with so many amazing, independent wrestlers and everything. And
Yeah.
I just want to, you know, it's almost like, I don't have the wrestling knowledge of like behind the scenes and everything and stuff, but it's almost like I want to be like I want to feel like I'm part of it and everything and stuff. And, I'm trying to get in, you know, I'm trying to get into the wrestling industry doors and everything and
Yeah.
stuff and
Yeah.
everything. How you was in WWE and everything, and how you're getting into, more doors and everything and stuff and everything and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I do. I totally get it. That's why, like, if I see something that like relates to you and your drawing, I
mhm,
will tag you and be like, bro, you gotta check this out because that could be an opportunity.
mhm,
Um, I don't mind like helping people to try to get something because I see the way that you go about it and your work ethic, and I think people can definitely use like your talents and stuff. So like
mhm.
I don't mind doing that like for you. But like I said, I'll definitely slide into your DMs and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, thank you for
Um,
that.
but it is one step at a
Mhm.
time. I love that you talk highly about my success and everything. But
Yes, it's
like
almost like
to be honest,
you're on. It's almost like you're on top of the world and everything. It's because you got so much knowledge, and you got the drive and everything to go with it and everything. And it's almost like, and I'm like, why isn't she in like a big production company and stuff and everything? Taking stuff by storm and everything. Because like you said, it's a lot of people backstage that don't know a lot of stuff and everything that could use a lot of
um,
knowledge and everything, which they think they know and all
um,
this stuff. But with you and
yeah,
everything and stuff, I feel like you can be the headliner of like just anything, and you can just you can kill it and everything.
I appreciate that so much. I really, really do. There are times like in real life when I'm not like on Twitter or
Hmm.
whatever, I would have like a big head just to like when I talk to people or whatever, like I would do it just to be on the funny
Hmm.
side. But I really don't tend to think that I have so much success. Like my brain is so weird. It's so stupid. My brain is on like work mode where it's like work, 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 and
Yes.
then like at the end it's like, well, you didn't really do much. You blah blah blah. Like no one really listens like to your shit, and I'm like, brain, shut up. So hearing that from you, I highly appreciate it. I mean, the other goal is to work for New Japan because I fucking love New Japan. Like I almost had a chance to work for New Japan as press, but I was a little too late. But
Hmm.
I at least like they basically know I'm around.
But you can
So
get there. You
I
can
still
get there because I'm telling you, it's on. I can
yeah.
see it. I can see it. It's like, to me to me personally and everything, you are the best at what you do, and you do such a phenomenal job and everything, putting out the articles, the creations, and just topics and everything and stuff. And like when I'm not, creating or like, you know, anything like that, and I try to relax and most of the time and everything, like at night and everything and stuff, when I try to relax and everything, I try to read some of your content and everything because I'm always seeing it and stuff. And
Oh
Twitch
shit.
and everything, like I gotta follow your Twitch too and everything. I gotta listen
Oh,
to some of your Twitch and
I
everything. But you're the best. You're the best, and I.
you gotta fucking make me cry. You gotta make me cry tears of joy the same way that Ben did when he did the unboxing for my damn wrestling planner. Oh my God, I appreciate it. I really, really do. Because sometimes, we get so caught up in life
Yeah.
that we don't take the moment to say to somebody, to just a quick message and being like, hey, I do see your stuff, and it's really good. Keep going. Like, no one really does that shit. Like, I
Yeah,
appreciate it, dude.
please
I
don't
appreciate
stop. Please don't stop. I'm begging you. Please don't stop because it's like
Dude, the day that I officially
Mhm.
stop, you guys better call like 911 or whatever, because I might have got kidnapped. I don't know. Which, by the way, I know this is recorded. I'm just being funny, Twitter. I'm just being funny, Twitter. Like, I gotta put out disclaimers, but like, no, I was born to be part of wrestling, even though like I don't wrestle.
Mhm.
But I was born to be like somewhere in it, and that's all thanks to like my dad.
Oh,
All thanks to him.
same here. Same here. My aunt got me into wrestling and everything, and like from here on out, and like I never knew I had a gift of like creating things and stuff like that. Like like when they asked me and everything, like, "Hey, what you want to be?" and everything, I was like, "Shoot, I don't know." I mean, the first thing, the first when I opened up the book and everything to see, how you have a book and you see what kind of entitlements you want to be, either a cook or stuff like that and everything. I just flipped over to like a random page and I just seen graphic designer and I was like, well, hey, it's dealing with art and everything, so I like putting together stuff. I just threw that down and everything. I really didn't know what it was or what it did, what it did and everything and stuff. But you know,
Yeah, right.
and it's almost like you over time and everything. You start to discover what you're gifted at and everything. Like they say your gift will make room for you and everything. It will make the way for you and everything. And like you know, just like what you have and everything, you are so gifted
Mhm.
and just so talented and everything at what you do and everything. It's almost like, you know, it's almost like you're untouchable, Maria. Like seriously, you are untouchable. It's almost like nobody can hold a candle to what you can do and everything. And you are just like at the top of the mountain and everything, and nobody can dethrone you for anything because you just
I appreciate that. I really do. I'm speechless. I really like, I say this to everybody, especially when they like buy something from me or tell me the same thing. Like, I don't have the right vocabulary to express or the right word to express, but just know that it really, really does mean the fucking world to me. So I'm gonna cut in here because I know that I haven't heard from BJ in a while. I haven't heard from Ben in a while. Ben, chime in, buddy.
Hi. Uh, I was gonna say, don't ask me to articulate myself. I literally woke up probably about 3, 4, probably about a minute before I got onto Twitter and came into this. I woke up.
Seriously?
It's like
Man.
not even 9 a.m.
So what is it? What time is it?
8:50 in the morning.
Oh man. Uh well, good morning, Ben. Good
Uh,
morning. I'll catch you. I'll catch you up to speed then. I decided to create this little recording space to talk about my event yesterday at Goddesses of War Wrestling, which is the all women's promotion. They just crowned their brand new women's champion. And I talked a little bit about like the matches and stuff. I actually got the chance to meet Nyla Rose yesterday, which was pretty cool. And got to be around some really familiar faces. I have a vlog about it coming out soon, and yeah. And then I got into like me talking about wrestling and analytics and character work and like all this kind of shit and AEW stuff.
that's awesome. Like, no, I saw the photo with you and Nyla. I'm like, oh wow.
Yes, and also I have my own trading card, guys. So weird. I did not know I was gonna get a trading card, and it got spoiled for me at the event. And I was like, "What do you mean I have a trading card? What are you talking about?"
the trading card. What?
Yeah, so basically, like yesterday at Goddesses of War, like they gave out trading cards to like everybody. So like all the women wrestlers are on the trading cards, and like me along with like the staff, we have our own like trading card. And I was like, what?
Oh
um,
wow.
when I got told this, I was like, wait a minute, am I supposed to know this? Like, what? Like, are you spoiling this for me? Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know that they were doing trading cards.
Totally caught you off guard.
It did, man. I was like, what? But yeah, like I have a little sit down interview with the guy who did the design for the trading card because he was there at the event. So you know, I have his like contact and his and sit down interview and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, they got to be that is like so cool to have like a trading card though. Like,
Yeah.
wow. Man, not many people get those or like action figures of stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm the only other thing that I'm in is in the Wrestle Deck game as an audience member. That's the only other thing.
The what?
The Wrestle Deck, it's a mobile game.
I
should
heard
be-
of that. I heard of that.
Hold on, let me go check this out.
Yeah, it's called Wrestle Deck. I'm there as an audience member. I have the freaking mask on. If you can't see me, I'm in all blue as an audience member. But yeah, that's the only other thing that I'm in, other than like having a trading card.
Man, doing it big.
Yeah, man. See, I'll tell you guys this though, that because I stay on Twitter 24/7, which is not healthy. It is not healthy to stay on Twitter 24/7.
Yeah.
I tend to.
I mean, if you're putting out content and everything, I mean, it's not such a.
Okay, well, hear me out. Okay, aside from me putting out content, the other reason too is that like when I'm not doing content, I'm looking around and seeing what opportunities are available, and then like contacting people and being like, hey, you know, I would love to be a part of this opportunity, and that's how like I end up getting like certain things.
Interesting. Cause I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
I'd be the same way. Like if I'm not creating anything and stuff, I'm busy strolling up and down and everything, seeing what goes on, or like if there's like a opportunity or something available and everything. Because not many come by and everything, and like somehow it just comes right out the thin air and everything, and be like, oh man, I gotta jump on this.
Yeah, man.
No, I know what you mean. Like, I literally just admitted to waking up and, like, within 30 seconds jumping on Twitter. It's like, in the olden days, you'd get up, you'd go to the front door, you'd pick up the morning newspaper and sit down and read it. Twitter is my morning newspaper.
Yeah, that's everybody's like morning newspaper in a way, which is bad, but you know, it happens. We're in an age of like digital stuff and whatnot. So
yeah, it'd be so much breaking news of like so many things, and like people always doing something, either something crazy or anything, or like jumping off buildings, or like fans trying to kick wrestlers or try to be a part of the event and everything, which is stupid.
Yeah,
it's just I just don't. I guess they get caught up in the moment and everything. Like if you're trying to interfere in a match, knowing good and damn well you're not a wrestler and everything, you hit a wrestler, and just like I seen a video. I don't know if you've seen it. Somebody hit La Parka at a show and everything, and La Parka was about to knock him out.
Man, I would have been like knocking out.
But these fans think, they can wrestle and everything. I'm like, I mean, you don't even know how to do a headlock. You don't even know how to get in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know, but fans are just weird. I could tell you that like yesterday's fans, like if you get to experience a New Jersey show, it depends on like where you go in Jersey that you'll get the best fans.
Oh man.
Yeah, there are certain places in Jersey that you'll get the best fans that'll be into it. Last night, like, yo, I was being the worker in the back trying to get the fans into the damn matches.
They went into it.
No, I mean, no. What I mean is that, like, you know how when you clap during the match, right, to get the crowd into it, right? So I was doing that so that way people can fucking clap. Not everyone did it, and I was just like, you guys, like, come on, guys, come on. Like, I was multitasking between, like, taking video, doing that, trying to get the crowd into the damn match while trying to take notes for my podcast and shit. I was like, oh
It's a
my
lot of
god,
multitask.
yeah, man. But I'm so used to it that I'm just like, I got this. But yeah, the fans got into the matches at around like match 4 because match 4 was different than the other ones.
Mhm.
It was basically matches 1 through 4 were all fatal 4 ways, and whoever won will go to the finals to crown the champion. So like in the 4th match, all the women were doing submissions. I was like, this is great because it was something different. It was amazing. Um, and I will say that one of the wrestlers had 2 other women in like a submission, and then she comes in and fucking tickles them to break the submission, and I was like, "Hey, tickling is super super effective there." Um, it was just really funny and shit. But yeah, man,
Something you don't see.
I was trying so hard to get the crowd into it. They got into it with like Nyla versus Mimi a little bit, but we still had to like help out with that. I do know that there was a reoccurring family that was there because they go to like almost every show. So like I already know who they are. I already know who they are. I don't know them. I don't know them by name, but I know them by like how they act during the shows. So I'm like, okay, good. We have our reoccurring buddy there.
They always giving away some type of identity of themselves and everything. They're like, hey, I
Yeah,
remember
man.
you.
Yeah, I remember them because of the son that they have. Like he screams out like some really weird shit sometimes. Where
Mhm.
like I actually said it back, right? And I'm
Mhm.
not sure like if people are gonna get on me if I say it here, but like he's a little boy just having fun at a wrestling show, and it sounded like he said, take her pants off or whatever, right? I was like, I
Oh,
actually said it back. I was like, did that little kid just say take her pants off, right? So like he heard me. He heard me say it, but I didn't do it in like in a scolding way. I was just like, what the fuck did I just hear? So the next time he said, take her mask off, and he looks directly at me, and I gave him 2 thumbs up, and I was like, all right, dude, whatever. But like it's that same reoccurring fan that I really enjoy that will just say things. But he wasn't doing it like out of malice. It was just one of those things of like when you're a fan that young, you
Mhm.
just say things because like your emotions are getting the best of you, and like you're watching a wrestling match. So like he was just saying some stuff. Like I thought it was cute. People might disagree with me and might cancel me, but I don't give a shit. It's
I
just
mean,
something.
you can't have it. It's kids and everything. I mean, like you said,
I
kid.
I wasn't gonna handle their kid. I was just like,
Oh
did I hear that right, kid? Like, what do
no.
you?
No, I ain't finna. I ain't finna tend to nobody else. I
Yeah.
got I got experience that energy and everything. Like I have yet to been to a wrestling show and everything, and I'm really planning on getting seeing one and everything. I just trying to figure out which one to go to that ain't so far away, so I won't get so jet lagged and won't cost an arm and a leg.
If you don't mind me asking, where are you from again?
Atlanta.
Like, where you? Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
They probably do. They have a lot of wrestling down there. In Georgia, they have a lot of wrestling.
Oh, Quint, if I'm not mistaken, is NWA in Atlanta?
They should be. They should roam around that area. If not, it might be like in another state, but it won't be too far away from you.
I gotta check and see what some events now that
Yeah,
do
man.
everything.
Yeah, because I know Georgia has a lot. Like the Carolinas have a lot. Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
has a lot. I don't think you're that far from like Tennessee, but what is it? MEW is in like Tennessee. I don't know how far that is from you, but they have stuff there. I'm not gonna suggest taking a plane all the way to New Jersey for like the next Goddesses of War event if you ever want to come by. But it's gonna be in Jersey. Um, Jersey is weird, by the way. It's weird to navigate. I will just say that.
Oh,
Whoever
really? Oh,
decided whoever decided to create Jersey just did it wrong. I'm just
oh,
saying.
dang.
Um,
You get lost pretty easily.
yeah, you do. You like. okay, so I'm used to living in New York City. So like I could get you around town. I could be like, all right, we could go here, we could go there. I'll show you the sights. Like we won't get lost. The moment that like I step into either Brooklyn or Queens, we might end up getting lost unless we're going somewhere specifically, or if we go somewhere in the Bronx, we just got to be fucking extra careful.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But Manhattan is the only thing in New York City that was created as a grid. So you will never get lost in Manhattan. If you get lost in Manhattan, then like one, you're a tourist, or whoever you have is stupid.
True.
Like you can't like in Manhattan, you cannot get lost. Now, I don't suggest going down weird ass alleys when you get to like um probably like maybe like Hell's Kitchen, maybe like somewhere like 42nd Street. Like you gotta be careful in those areas because it gets weird. But other than that, like you can get lost in Central Park, but you'll still be able to get out. Just don't walk Central Park at night. That's all. Um,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Isn't it don't walk most parks at night?
you'll be pretty okay in Manhattan walking at night, just not in Central Park or like 42nd Street. 42nd Street is okay, it's tamed. It depends. You still have some crazies over there, um, But for the majority, if it's not like Manhattan, yeah, don't walk out at night.
Be honest, I wouldn't walk at night at all around them type.
Listen, I live in the Bronx now, and I barely like end up going out, but I miss staying in Manhattan where I know that it'll be a little bit more safer, a little bit more calmer for me to like walk out if I wanted to go like at 7 to like do maybe a 30-minute walk or
Yeah.
like an hour walk because I know Manhattan way better than like any other borough.
Yeah, it's almost like just like I ran into this lady the other day, and she had 10 little things of pepper spray in her purse,
Damn.
and she had a crowbar in her back pocket.
What?
And I'm like, ma'am, do you really need all that in there? Is it necessary? She said, you just wouldn't imagine.
Oh my God,
I
man.
said, but 10 things of pepper spray? She had bear mace in her back pocket too.
The fuck?
And I'm like, what type of people do you run into that you
Yo, she sounds like she's ready for like the Bronx.
Yep.
She sounds like she's ready
Pretty much,
for
cause you gonna need all that when you in them type of deep parts and everything and stuff. Cause
Listen, man. I can kind of guess like where not to go, and I will not go there. If I could automatically see from my eye that it's not safe, I ain't fucking going.
Oh yeah, you get you know how you say you get that feeling and stuff on
Yeah.
that gut feeling and everything, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's almost like you're walking in that direction when somebody's pulling you, but like no.
Yeah. Like yesterday, right? Because I didn't vlog this. I probably should have vlogged it, but like so like I go to these events with my cousin who is now a retired wrestler, JD Alpha. Right? And I go with my boyfriend as well. So like we pull into like this 7-Eleven and he doesn't like turn off the car and I was like he puts it in like what is it? No, park, obviously, but he doesn't turn it off and I'm like, you're not gonna turn it off? Like we're in the middle of nowhere. Like what are you doing, right? But the 7-Eleven was like just right next to us. But he's like this is Jersey. Like we don't really need to worry that much. And I'm like, seriously. The freaking like New Yorker came out at me like, really, we're not gonna like shut the car off, just go inside, put it back on, like, I don't want no one fucking trying to steal it, even though the doors would be locked,
No, see, you can't do that. That's why I hate every time you pull up at the gas station and everything. People want to leave their car running and everything, but like, oh, I'm just going in there to put a quick, this and this in and everything. Ain't nothing gonna happen. I was like, you don't know that,
right? I'm in that mindset. I'm like, yo, I don't know anybody out here. They don't know me. Like, this is our one thing to get home. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, you would hate to get into a scuffle with somebody over,
over a punk.
you know, just like, man, I don't want to waste my energy trying to fight this person and everything to, off of their stupidity.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I I had a great time. I know that if we continue talking, we're probably gonna run into some territory that like it's not appropriate for this, and this is recorded. Um, but yeah, man, all you have to keep doing is just keep working at everything that you're doing, and obviously all the wrestling companies are like hitting you up, and I hope that they're paying you too. And
And the
people might
thing
think
about
that.
it is, I've been doing not the country. I've been doing so much content create. I mean, so much creating and everything and stuff and everything. It's almost like, I understand. You have to show what you can do and
Yeah,
what you're capable of and everything and stuff. But at some point in time, somebody has to see like, the take. All I'm asking is to just give me a chance. You know,
yeah, I totally get.
you just the opportunity and everything. Because like, I was, part of a few and everything. Few promotions, but a couple of them, they let me go and everything and
Uh,
stuff. I mean, it was disappointing. It was heartbreaking and everything. I mean, I know I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
at the level I was, then and everything, but still, it was heartbreaking because I felt like, I was a part of, wrestling,
yeah. I get that. I get that. Yeah, 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 dude.
and
I know.
just being left out in the cold and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going. It was hard and everything, but
Yeah,
I picked myself up and everything. I, kept my head, focused
yeah.
and driven, and pausing
So,
everything, and
so
hmm
I'm gonna give you. Well, first is a question rather than like advice. The
okay,
question is, have you ever heard of Fiverr?
Fiverr.
Yes.
Oh no, I ain't never heard of it.
Okay. So like okay. I'm just gonna say this. I don't trust Fiverr. However, because you are a creator, and if you're not doing something like, having a Patreon or having some type of membership thing where like you can have some type of income coming through, because right now you have a big portfolio of doing artwork designs and posters and stuff like that. So I think now you have to go to the next step. And this is the next step that like I'm no, I don't want to say I'm pushing you to do, but like trying to give you like advice and maybe a path to like
Hmm.
check out, right?
Okay.
So,
Hmm.
so, so if you're not using Patreon or any other membership platform, you could check out Fiverr. It's a gig platform. So what it is that when you sign up, you'll be a seller. You'll be able to put like three different tiers, and because you are an art person, it has a really great marketplace. So you could say for like $5, you do like this type of poster or something small, and then like you'll increase gradually if you want to do that. But it's another way to get clientele. It's another way for people to like pay you for something small that they cannot do, and you can provide that solution for them, because obviously they have a problem. They can't draw, they can't like use Photoshop or whatever, but you can. So you
Hmm.
can sign up, and you can definitely reach your clientele. Your portfolio will grow, and then you'll say in like a letter to somebody or like an email to somebody is that I've dealt with X amount of clients. These are their reviews, because you would ask them afterwards, like, oh, can you leave me like a review so I can like use it as a testimonial? If they say yes, you can use it in your email. You could be like, hey, I love to work for your company because I know that I could do it because I had X amount of clients. Um, reach out to me. I did these specific stuff for them. And these are their testimonials for why they enjoy working with me and why they come back to work with me. And I hope that this can show that I would love to be a part of your company. You see?
That is so interesting. And thank you for that. I wrote it down and everything. I'm gonna check that out too
Yeah,
and
cool.
everything and stuff. And because I'm yeah I don't know if you heard of like Web3 and like
Yeah, I
some
have. I
other
just
kind of
don't. I just don't go into that.
yeah
I've heard the rumblings.
for the life of I mean I couldn't really it's like it's so much to try to process and everything minting and other things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not quite ready for that yet.
If you want to, there was another user in here, and he's also in Gabe's space. Mikey, just talk to him because he talks to me about Web3, and I'm like, dude, that's not my thing, but I would definitely listen to you, so it's okay. You can talk to me about Web3 anytime you want. But reach out, but reach out to Mikey what now? Because he'll help you with that. Even like Tony Bravado would also help you out probably, but like I don't deal with Web3. I only try to help think outside the box when it comes to like you, Ben, and like other people to be like, well, let's try to elevate what you already do and like
Yes.
show off what you got to do.
Yes.
Because right now you're at like the surface level where like it's just like that default. So
Hmm.
like because I was like, hey, if you're not doing Patreon or whatever else, you can definitely use Fiverr and get more of a clientele because the marketplace is really huge. The marketplace is huge. So you could get so many different clientele. You just gotta like you'll stand out because you do wrestling, and I don't really see many people that are graphic designers on there that do wrestling. So you'll stand out that way. And
Oh.
everyone else that's gonna be listening to this, at the end, like I say on Twitch, if you're gonna listen to the VOD of this, you could take that idea too if you guys want to use Fiverr if you want to and stuff like that. I just try to help people
It's a
make it.
huge help and everything. It's just been like I don't know. It's almost like you said. I try to be different and everything from everybody and everything. And my vision and my imagination is so different. It's almost like how you say your mind
Yeah,
it's does different is
yeah,
crazy and everything and stuff and it's almost like I don't think like you know the rest of them and everything. So I try to go beyond it and everything. I try to do something like different and everything and
yeah.
stuff.
You
And
do, dude. You really, honestly, like with the artwork that I see, it's pretty different. It's pretty unique. I just have a different way of like looking at things and whatnot. So like,
mm-hmm,
not all of them like hit me to be like, wow, that's awesome. Like most
mm-hmm.
of the time it does, but like, sometimes not every picture is gonna catch my eye, but I'm just weird and different. That's all it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But I still enjoy like what you do and like the passion you have behind it. If you want, I do have my Discord that I'm trying to grow. If you ever want to like join, there's a voice channel. If you ever want to like throw around ideas with me, I would gladly like get on that channel and just start talking with you. It's similar to this because we don't have to do video. It's
Oh,
similar to
okay,
this. If you
okay.
want to do that. It's one of the pinned tweets. Yeah, if you want to do that, because I know that I think you wait for certain spaces to pop up to just talk shop, right?
Oh, uh huh. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you want to talk shop with me, I don't mind doing that like on Discord.
Okay, yeah. Send me your Discord and
If
everything, and
um so basically the Discord is the tweet inside the Twitter space. You see it? It's number two. It's on top. It's basically on
oh,
top of our names.
number two TC.
So basically, it's the number two tweet that I put in here. It's right after talking about my book on Amazon.
Oh, okay, okay. I see it. I see it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So like when you're in the Twitter space, Gabe usually does that too to talk about his seminars so that he could tell people, hey, don't forget like the pinned tweets above, so that way if someone's interested, they can either go to the seminars. Well, in this case, if someone's interested, they can go to the Discord and or buy my book.
Okay. Yeah, because in invite in. Oh, yeah. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's sure. I hardly ever use my Discord. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's okay. Well, it works. I guess I'm in.
Yeah, you are. I see you. I just got the notification. It says
Okay.
welcome. It says welcome to me. Um, but yeah, I feel like you always want to talk shop and bounce off ideas, and certain spaces are not for that. But I try to
Yeah.
make sure that my spaces can be a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay, yeah. I definitely would love to, because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
almost like things just keep processing and everything, stuff keep coming up and
yeah.
everything and stuff, and I have nothing to really, share with, because it's just like everybody's not really interested, or like stuff like that is like of certain things and stuff and
Yeah,
everything.
I got you. I totally get it. But what up, Ben? You got your mute, your mute. Oh my god, your mute on
Mark.
my. What up?
Yeah, I was like in the process of trying to open up Discord on my laptop while I talk to you guys, because you were talking about wrestling in Atlanta before. I have an answer to that.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Go ahead. What's up?
So on March 4th, they've got On Tap Wrestling. There's Rise of the Heroes on March 18th, UCW on March 27th, and I think it's June, Impact Wrestling is coming to Atlanta.
Ah,
Mm.
yo, you should definitely like go to the Impact Wrestling one. I've never experienced one, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out. Wow. Speaking of that,
What?
did anybody watch Slammiversary? What was it? Sunday, Saturday?
Wait. Are you talking about No Surrender?
No surrender, no surrender.
I didn't get the chance to watch it yet, but I will be adding that onto the long list of things I need to watch.
Yeah, same here. I got like a whole list of things. I don't even know what's going on in AEW. I done lost track
Well,
of like so many things.
yeah, they just completed their tapings for Ring of Honor, so Ring of Honor will be on the Ring of Honor app, on the For Honor Club and shit. So yeah.
Oh, how much is it? How much is it? Is it free?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
Most likely it's the same price that it's always been, like $10. Because I remember paying $10 back in the day before they decided to fold.
Damn. So what is 10? It's $10 a month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, I might have to do that, because I love Ring of Honor. That's like the first. That's like the first company I really was like, outside of like WWE, because I tried to branch out and
Yeah.
everything. And saying like Ring of Honor like caught my eye and everything, and like just
Yeah.
started it's just so many. It's just like I'm waiting for it to come back around and everything. I gotta download it. You said it's on the app.
What happened?
You said it's on the app, right?
Yeah, it's on the Ring of Honor app, or you could go to like watchroh.com. For what I've seen on Twitter, that should be the website. But yeah, you could just sign up again for it and stuff. I mean, I used to have it back in the day, and then that was it.
I maybe get into that. Definitely is. I've been waiting for it to come back around and everything. About time. I heard they got a whole list of like some really great banger matches on the card.
Yeah, man. I saw that list and I was like, damn, that's so many matches. But they do that so that they could film it in a batch and then release it like week to week to week.
Mm.
Yeah, which I'm not always fond of it that way, but like Tony doesn't have like what WWE has, where they can like go on the road like that.
Oh yeah. That's why he needs more people. He needs a lot of people. He can't do it all by himself.
Look, man, I'm gonna cut you off right there. That's for a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
That's for a whole nother discussion, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's for a whole nother discussion. Well, I'm gonna wrap things up. As always, I always like to get people to plug their stuff in. So P1 Designs, please plug your stuff in.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I am the one and only P1 Design. If you want to see amazing artwork and everything, I bring stuff to life and everything. I'm a storyteller, and I just create great poster design stuff. You can follow me here on Twitter, or you can follow me on Instagram, P1 Designer. on Instagram, and you can just see all artwork I done did and everything, because I post mostly like almost every day or every other day and everything. So yeah.
All right, Ben, you put yourself over to dude.
At the moment, my content, you can find my old previous content on YouTube. I upload a video here and there. I'm not as consistent as I'd like to be, which I will get there eventually. Follow me on Twitter at AussieLucian. I've been playing this game lately. Let me think what it's called. Where is it? It's called Promotion Wars 21st Anniversary. And whenever I do something, I'll just take a photo of it and upload it to Twitter. That's probably the most interesting thing I've got going at the moment. You'll probably see photos from when I take photos of Marie's book and I upload that, because I'm trying to keep that up to date as well. Where are we?
You good?
Yeah, no, I just said I lost connection there. I've got a really dodgy connection.
Oh, I mean, you're still okay, but all right. You're fine. All right. So, oh, sorry, dude. I muted you. Sorry. What happened? No, go ahead, Ben. I think you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
I just realized my mic was off.
Well, the first time I muted everybody, so I could like wrap it up, but then I heard you talk, and I was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. So what happened?
I was going to say, I ramble, and I think losing the connection was my internet's way of saying, wrap it up, man, wrap it up.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to mute everybody, and then I will say my thing. All right, so this was an amazing record session. I hope that you took some type of golden nuggets, some wisdom nuggets from the start of this all the way to the end of it. Again, I am Marie Shadows of the Square Circle Podcast, writer to the Square Circle Society. And if you want to follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/Square Circle Society, where March is dedicated to women's wrestling. If that's something that you enjoy, something that you like, by all means, sign up at patreon.com/Square Circle Society. If you're not following my Discord, make sure to do so. This was an awesome chat. We're going to continue the chat over at Discord. There is a link running around on Twitter at Marie_Shadows. And if you have not gotten my wrestling planner yet, please do so. It is made for you. I made it exclusively for you. Head over to amazon.com/author/Marie Shadows. Also, follow me on Twitch. Tomorrow will be a very special Twitch episode where I'll be talking again behind the scenes of Goddess of War Wrestling, maybe some stuff. Just very quickly, just want to hang out with you guys on Twitch, twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows. Then Tuesday is Tape Study Tuesday. You know what that means. We break down wrestling matches and have a good old time. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time is when we start on twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows. And with that, I really want to say thank you to Ben for joining me and P1 Designs for joining me. And I'll see you guys on the next Twitter Spaces.